Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Portugal, Porto, my first time here. Those of you who are following me on Instagram, which I will attach the link down below, right underneath this video in the description box, those of you will see more images from here. But I am by the street. It's not too busy street, so I hope it's not going to bother you much. However, the view behind me is really great. And I'm staying not too far away from this spot, which I have chosen for my own convenience, to be honest. But let me say first thank you to everyone who has left the comments under my latest video. It was a very personal video, and I actually realized that those are the best videos to record, because I think this is what really connects us all. And news is one thing, and those heavy topics are another thing, but at the end of the day, at the end of the day, I believe that what matters the most is this energy that is exchanged between us. Even though this is social media, there is still an energy exchange, and I have really great audience, and your support and your kind words and even some donations, it really means a lot to me, guys. So I will be holding my head and reading my notes like I used to do before. I don't know how I'm gonna manage this, but this video is about, probably you see it in the title, I'm going to title it this way: Nostrodamus predicted it and Kalergi planned it. What is this about? Well, maybe the title will be slightly different, but this is the main topic. What's going on, everyone, right? Like, we all know, those of you who have been with me long enough on this channel, what is the agenda and who is behind this agenda. Why over 60,000, I actually saw some numbers, 65,000 migrants from Morocco just within 2 days were able to, of course organized, okay? And we know by who. And if you don't know by who, well, I think a lot of you know by who. Let me just give you a little bit history lesson, because I was coming across this, I'm like, oh, here we go again. So, Jews were expelled from Spain on March 31, 1492. You're like, well, when King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella issued the Alhambra decree, giving the country's Jewish population time until July 31st of 1495 to leave or convert to Catholicism. July 31st. This was the deadline for them to say adios to Spain. So what happened on the 30th and 31st of July this year? Revenge? How many years later, guys? 1492? Okay, let me flip the notes, a bit of challenge, but that's why I stopped doing those videos outside. And so, July 31st, 1492, the strict deadline by which all remaining unconverted Jewish people had to depart Spanish territories. They like the numbers, they like the dates, they like to remember certain things, or some things they actually don't remember, but they twist it. So we have one of those things. I'm trying to find the spot so I can flip the page. So you had over 60,000 that they brought and paid for the boat and the whole project to Spain. And those people who believe that the Spanish Prime Minister Sanchez, right, his last name I think, like totally in cahoots with Alex Soros, and even though pretending anti-Netanyahu, please give me a break. So now we have between July 30th and 31st an estimate of 65,000 migrants crossed the border by land and sea into the tiny 5-mile Spanish territory. Okay, so we have this topic now, because it's all connected, guys. When I saw those images from that absolute disaster, that madness from Spain, and I was putting them into in the stories, or on the stories, however you say it, on my Instagram, which is completely not in alignment with my travel videos lately, my travel posts on Instagram, because it's like so refreshing to step away from all of this bullshit. I'm sorry for the language, and literally just like, you know, you wake up, you meditate, you pray, you eat food, like have breakfast, you have your coffee, you swim, you take a shower, you get ready, and you just like simple things in life. Look at the sunrise. Go to my Instagram, you're gonna see the sunrise this morning. But then I see that and I'm like, what the heck is going on? So, you know what first came to my mind when I saw it? That madness? You might be thinking, what? I said to myself, Nostradamus. Nostradamus. Many of you like, oh my God, she's talking about Nostradamus. Well, I am, because I remember in 2020 when we had Schmovit and I was in California, and somehow one library was open, and I went to that library and I got some books, and I just grabbed those books. I'm not sure if it was exactly Nostradamus, but or it was Dolores Cannon. Some of you are probably familiar with her work. Anyway, if you're not, just do your own research. Dolores Cannon. And she written some books about Nostradamus prophecies as well, because she was putting thousands and thousands of people into hypnosis, and during those hypnosis they were like communicating or seeing things with past lives or other people, and she actually had some interactions, I believe, with Nostradamus. Nevertheless, I know this goes like very esoteric, but I read the books, okay, and in those books I remember the chapters in which he was talking about this massive migration to Europe, like Europe will be absolutely devastated by that migration. So here are a few things. This is from Century 2, Quatrian 3. The verse reads, quote, "From the languages of the Adriatic and the Caspian, a strange tongue with overrun, devastating the entire land." Like we understand, end of quote. Believers often map this strange tongue overrun to the movement of millions of non-European language speakers into the continent. And there was another one, which is Century 6, Quatrain 80, that states, quote, "From Fez, the realm will reach those of Europe, their city ablaze and blade will cut," end of quote. So the translation of it, because Fez is in Morocco, this verse is frequently highlighted whenever border tensions spike between North Africa and European enclaves, like Spain's Ceuta. That's the name? Ceuta? Isn't it the name of the city in Spain? Can you believe it? Like, actually, I had this image of those pages when I was reading Nostradamus, and he was describing in, you know, this very old language of his. By the way, you know who was Nostradamus? Nostradamus was a natural healer, a doctor. I think he was healing people with natural ingredients like herbs, however you say it. And he was an issue to many in that time. So that was Nostradamus. But those of you who don't care about Nostradamus, you probably care about, let me remind you again, and now it's windy, about Kalergi's plan. You remember the Kalergi guy? Well, I talk about him, but it's good to revisit this. So let me just find the right page, guys. Sorry for the unprofessional recording. That's why it's a bit challenge, but at least it's outside. Let's go to Kalergi's plan. The Kalergi plan. The Jews want to exterminate the European race, said Richard Coudenhove Kalergi, who was the father of the European Union and who was funded by the Jewish bankers like Rothschilds and Warburg. He wrote a book which was titled Praktischer Idealismus in, guess what year? 1925, in which, in that book, he stated that the Jews are the master race, because, you know, he was a Jew and he was sponsored by the Jewish bankers, so like perfect, and that the Jews can only assume the throne and rule over the world by weakening the European race, and that the meanings to the weakening the European race would be to dissolve all the European nations, destroy all their cultural heritage and their national traditions, and replace that with the European Union, and then, actually exactly what's going on, to invite in Africans, Middle Easterners and Asians to dilute the blood of Europeans through, this is the word I have trouble saying, miscegenation, apologies, miscegenation, to the point where they became a degenerate mixed race. And then at that point, these people would no longer, meaning Europeans, will no longer have any sense of nationhood. And the ancient Jewish Messianic prophecies of the world rule out from Jerusalem, with Jews maintaining their national status. So meaning, like, just pollute European nations, and I talked about it before, okay? This is the Kalergi's plan. This is what's going on. And the book is from 1925, and European Union was first because he was the so-called father of it. And everything what he written is happening. Moment, it's very windy. Maybe this way better, okay? So, this is the rule for them to rule the world. But I want to say one more thing. You remember, guys, let's walk a little bit there. You remember, guys, when those so-called rabbis, like Schneerson, like Chabad Lubavitch, they talk about it. One of those very important conditions for Messiah to come back is the West must fall first. And the West is not just Europe, it's also Australia, every country that has like the so-called Western values or lifestyle. But Europe is definitely, because, you know, clearly we all see what's happening. This is all planned. And what is the craziest thing? That Nostrodamus predicted it. And I don't have the dates when Nostrodamus was talking about it, but anyway, he did. He predicted it. Was it 1500 or something like that? You can put in the comments down below. And then, just as an anniversary, they wanted to reverse it, since they were expelled from Spain, 1400 something, 92. Like, let's bring them back July 30th and 31st, full circle. So those are my thoughts on what's going on. And on the top of it, we have all those fires. And I just left Italy yesterday. I saw this morning there was this crazy earthquake in Naples, right? Those of you who are in Italy, you might put in the comments down below. You know, it's almost like everything at once, right? When you look at those events. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope this video was not making you too dizzy, but I really wanted to record it outside, so at least you had some pleasant, beautiful view behind me as a contrast to the topics that I was bringing to you today. And let me know what you think about all of this. There was a moment of from the White House, from Oval Office, when Trump was asked a question. I think he was asked a question by one of the journalists. I don't remember the exact question, but it was in regards to those over 60,000 people that were delivered to Spain from Morocco. How convenient, right? What a great transportation system. Look at this. And he said something, paraphrasing, that he actually pointed at the UK. Like, he said, like, Europe or something like that, they have to manage this, they have to handle it. But he highlighted UK. So I don't know if the next target is UK now, even extra super duper on steroids. 100,000, what they're gonna do now? I don't know, I have no idea. But I just saw that recording, that video. So let me know in the comments if you've seen it and what do you think of that. Thank you so much for watching and for being such a great audience. If you appreciate the content, please hit thumbs up, it really helps with the algorithm, and subscribe, it's free of charge. And if you choose to support my work, all the links are below the video to Patreon, Locals, PayPal, and those of you who have Instagram and you want to see pictures from my travels, go and follow me there. Lots of love, and remember, we are the leading edge and we are saving humanity. And I see you in another video. Bye everyone.